Neuroscience must aid educational research and policy. There must be proof. Social policy, neuroeconomics, the use of the mind to make trust, fairness, and justice as the main areas of successful society via neurobiological research. So neurobiology is not forgotten, Prof Ishwar. Neurobiology is still there. This is not something that we go out without out to do something without neurobiology proof. Health, to promote and sustain the progress of research into understanding of the brain in the field of mental health. So these 10 scientists decided to do this. Why? Because, and published a letter in Science that I showed in the first slide, because they are trying to look at the transdisciplinary or interdisciplinary research initiative where cognitive science, neuroscience, psychology, mathematicians, engineering, computer science, and those in education, in arts, all can work together and come up with new ideas and new research. And this is very important because the decade of the brain, started by Bush many years ago, has now led us to the decade of the mind. And we hardly think of mind functions as trust, love, gratitude, let alone the stock market, justice system, neuroethics, schools, and social norm compliance. All this uses the mind. So, why did Bush proclaim 20 years ago about the decade of brain? Because they saw that at that time there were many problems, diseases. And over the last 20 years, lots of research has been done about the brain, but not much about the mind. The mind is in the brain, The mind is unfortunately not in the spinal cord, it's not in the peripheral nerve, but it is in the brain, Maybe the scientists I might cut my tongue today when scientists prove that mind may exist in the peripheral nerve. But I personally think that the mind exists in the brain. So the concepts of neurosciences following the 3 themes have to be sorted out because you're confused. Brain science is defined as a branch of neurosciences concerned with the brain. Neuroscience is defined as a scientific study of the nervous system. So the nervous system is the brain, the spinal cord, the peripheral nervous system, as you know it. And as you learn in primary school and secondary school. And the mind has many definitions. The human consciousness that originates in the brain is manifested especially in thoughts, perception, emotions, will, memories, and imaginations. The dream is also part of the mind. The collective conscious and unconscious processes in a sentient organism that directs and influences mental and physical behavior. The principle of intelligence, the spirit of consciousness, the faculty of thinking, reasoning, and applying knowledge. That is the mind. So I hope you understand that brain and mind are, 2 different issues, but the mind cannot exist without the brain. So everybody knows about the cells of the brain. The brain is composed of normally neurons and glia. So neurons are cells that receive electrochemical signals to and from the brain, and they say that there are about 100 billion neurons in the brain, and glia make 90% of the brain cells. And glial cells are nerve cells that don't carry nerve impulses. That's what they say, but recent research has shown that even glial cells may carry nerve impulses. So science changes. Another thing is, you have a car. The car is a cell. You need the oil, the benzene, your British petroleum thing that you put into to drive the engine to move. You need neurotransmitters. So neurotransmitters, this is a simplified definition, of course, as chemicals which relay, amplify, and modulate signals endogenously between a neuron and a neighboring cell. And then you need synapse. This all drives the brain to think and for us to have a mind. And this is the basis of most brain sciences, or even neurosciences, the action potential. That is electricity, the yin and the yang. The electricity in our cells. Very small. You see this is negative, it's not positive. And this is important because without action potential, we are dead. You know, you do a electrophysiology examination in a dead animal, dead brain, dead human being, there is no action potential. That's why we say a patient is brain dead, because he has no electrophysiology response. Therefore, that guy can donate his organs for heart transplant, lung transplants, whatever, because this is what I said to the Vice President, the ruh, that is my personal concept, the ruh of the body, you know. So, this is all a big, busy slide, but what we need to know about the neurotransmitters are there are neurotransmitters that work slow, and there are neurotransmitters that work fast. So certain fast ones, like putting your hand in the fire, ouch, take the hand away within seconds, split seconds, microseconds. That's a fast receptor, you know. And you have slow receptors as well. So these are very important because you need ions for this, and you need cells for this. And you have important neurotransmitters. Some of you have heard about glutamate. Some of you have heard about GABA. Some of you have heard about acetylcholine. Some of you have heard about dopamine. There's even a serotonin club now. I just opened my email this morning, and there was an email. Please join the serotonin club. There's a serotonin club. Substance P, and many other neurotransmitters, or what we call, those who are not yet defined as neurotransmitters, known as putative neurotransmitters. So there are good neurotransmitters and bad neurotransmitters. A GABA agonist, for example, is a friend to the GABA. Might put someone to sleep, make him relax, you know. So, but at the same time, it may have other effects as well. It may make him hallucinate. You know, one example is what experiments we are doing in USM with the drug control agency in Penang. Is you are looking at ketum, mitragyna. You drink ketum, you work very hard, you relax. Ketum has got many compounds, and in ketum itself, there are GABA agonists and also GABA antagonists. So you see that God is great. He has put, you know, these neurotransmitter systems in certain areas of the brain, and these neurotransmitters have certain functions, like the arousal. You get aroused with no adrenaline. When you first meet your wife, I mean, you haven't married your wife yet. She's a young girl coming to the room. You see her, haha, this is the girl I want to date. This is the girl I want to marry. Your noradrenaline system is there. Cool, you know. It goes through, you know, it tickles you through your spinal cord. It goes to your amygdala, you know. And then you say, I want to date this girl. I'm saying this because there are too many girls in this room, so, you know. So, and then you give the girl a flower. You say, I love you very much. The flower, the roses. Dopamine system, reward system. You know, how does the lady reward you back? I love you as well, blah, 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 you know. So, the dopamine system. Now, so all these systems are there. And then the guy said, menyampah lah saya, you know, I don't like you. Also, dopamine system. And then you have, when you break up. You decided not to marry that girl, or not to be the boyfriend or girlfriend of that girl. Then what happens is, you're depressed. The serotonin system sticks in. Mandi tak basah, tidur tak lena, makan tak kenyang, whatever you call it, you know. Love. So love tickles the serotonin system, the dopamine system, you know, the noradrenaline system. And then 10 years later, you meet your daughter decides to marry her son. And then something happens, you know, when you pergi nak angkat nikah tu, so dengki or whatever you call it, you know. Then the cholinergic system kicks in, and you say, aku tak nak kau kahwin dengan, you know, that fellow, you know. There, you know, memory. It may be short term, it may be long term. So cholinergic system kicks in, you know. So sorry for using this man-boy relationship example, but I think that's common among everybody understands the man-boy, man-woman, you know, relationship. So this